Hey y'all, welcome back. So, there's something that is just like plaguing me today, and every single time I am looking at my cards, okay, I'm trying to figure out what is blocking, what's blocking justice, what's obstructing justice. Every single time I am trying to figure this out, right? It always goes back to Manhattan 9/11, okay? So, this is a big thing because this feels like it's the missing key to everything that has been going on, including the Trump presidency, okay? And a series of probably events, okay, that have occurred. And it feels like there has been, okay, declassified files that have come out, all right, by the CIA. We've gotten more information about 9/11, but there's still something missing, okay? There's still something missing. There's like a missing key that we need in order for us to get justice, clarity for our country, for the nation. Because if we don't figure this out, it feels like we will never get our country back. That's what it feels like energetically. And every time I go into what is blocking me, what's obstructing my personal justice, because I haven't gotten justice for everything that happened to me, what is it? It always goes back to Manhattan and the Twin Towers. That's what it takes me to every time. And it's really interesting because this came up, I want to say it was like 6 months ago, or maybe even a year ago, that I kept getting that same kind of energy coming through. And I didn't really even know if I was connecting it to 9/11. Okay. It was just coming up in the energy of a reading I was doing on Trump. Okay. That's what I kept picking up on, this energy. And I kept seeing this black box over and over again. I want to say it was in 2021, right before I was attacked, okay, through because of my channel. I saw a black box that was attacking me. I experienced what I felt was like a psyche break-in, and when I looked, I saw a black box, and it was a foreign enemy that I'm not going to even address or talk about. But anyways, so um right now when I'm talking today, okay, where are we at? We're in February 2024. Today I am trying to figure out what this block is. And every time I have tuned into this energy, it's a very interesting energy. Okay. So if you guys have not read the declassified 9/11 docs, okay, I remember reading these. I want to say it was like, it might have been in 2022. I don't remember when it first came out. And I remember reading it and just kind of almost being in shock. But what I had read, okay, and I can't find the exact doc, but somebody kind of recited it in another, I think it was The Guardian, kind of recited everything that I had read. It was saying that the CIA was the ones that trained the hijackers, okay, that they were the ones that trained them, okay, that's what the doc had said, and that it was on our soil and they were being trained at Embry-Riddle, okay, and Embry-Riddle is in Florida. So that was what I had seen in that doc, okay, so don't quote me verbatim, but that's what I was reading, was that it was on our soil and that the CIA was the ones that actually had trained those guys, and they were out of Florida. Okay. So this is the interesting thing, is that Florida keeps coming up. I just had the reading yesterday about Florida. Okay. And everything is going to start to connect. So if you haven't seen that, definitely check that one out, because there's a lot of what it feels like is like these mini storms or mini fires that have been everywhere. And when they come, they're basically right now are coming to the light. Okay. So Okay. I am back on right now. Okay. So, so it feels like there's all these little storylines that are coming together, and it feels like they were never connected. But I feel what's coming in right now is that everything is going to start to connect. Okay. So that's kind of the energy that I'm picking up. So right now, it feels like there is like an elephant in the room. That's what it feels like. There's literally feels like there's an elephant in the room. And it feels like no matter what docs or declassified or whatever it is, it feels like we're still missing information, if that makes any sense at all. Like it still feels like something is not right. You know what I mean? So here's the energies that it feels like. So I'm going to tell you, it feels like two separate energies in the 9/11 energies, okay? And it feels like we have like a cleanup mess. Like we have like cleanup on aisle 10. You know what I mean? Like we need to freaking get this shit figured out. And it feels like it's two different energies. So when I tune into the energies, I feel the presidential energies, okay, of Bush, and then I feel Manhattan energies and I feel Trump energies. And they feel like two separate energies. And it's really strange. It almost feels like it's like Texas is one energy, and then it feels like Manhattan is another energy. And they're completely two different energies. And I think to myself, how is that possible? Like, how is that possible when we're talking about 9/11? We got two different energies going on here, okay? And it feels like they're opposing energies, okay? It feels like it's Texas versus Manhattan. That's the energy it feels like, okay, energetically. And they don't feel like they're on the same side of the coin. And what that makes me feel like, okay, this is what it makes me feel like, is that something's going on with Manhattan and 9/11. Okay, there's something going on with Manhattan and 9/11 that we're not getting like the full story. So I always see the shots of the Pentagon, okay, being attacked, and like after the Pentagon was attacked, like it like the whole like a whole chunk of the Pentagon was taken out by the one flight, okay? And I keep seeing that, and that to me has like a shock. It's like a shock factor, okay? That's like a question mark energy. Like that's how it feels energetically. But it's like there's something going on with Manhattan with the 9/11 saga that like we're not like fully getting the story on. And like that's the part, because this is what it feels like. It feels like DC has a question mark and Manhattan knows something. You know what I mean? Like it's like Manhattan my bird is flipping out. Right now, it's like the key is in Manhattan. You know what I mean? Like there's something with Manhattan and 9/11, and it's like our own president doesn't like the president doesn't have the key. Like, does that make sense? That's the freaking energy. So if you go to the declassified doc, okay, it says maybe not verbatim, but it's saying that the CIA was connected to the people who were, they were training the people who did the planes. Okay, whatever. So maybe there's a connection somehow to Embry-Riddle. I don't really understand that. But now we go back to Florida. We're right back. Where did they get trained? Florida. Where is Trump's resort? Florida. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, is it Florida? Like, is that because I feel like it's Bush is like over here, and then I feel like it's like there's another layer to this that we're like missing. You know what I mean? Like it's something else like going on. And then it's interesting because I just read something that they were saying that the plot was not done by the Saudi government. And this feels like a U.S. plot. I mean, that's what it feels like. That's, I think, what was like the big shock value was that it felt like it was a U.S. plot. So it just feels like it is like not a person, it just feels like it is something where, I don't know. It just feels like there's something that is missing. You know what I mean? Like there's some missing pieces going on. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this, but there's a divide. Okay. So I'm going to tell you there's a block in justice. I'm telling you there is a huge block. Now, there was a documentary that was done, okay, on 9/11, and they talked about the oil, okay, the oil connection to Halliburton or whatever. And they were saying that it was all a plot to get money for the oil guys and everything like that. I can see that connection. Like I can feel that connection, but there's like another plot. Like I'm telling you, there's like another layer to this story that we're like missing. It's like another one. It feels I'm getting a Wall Street plot. Like I feel a Wall Street plot. Now there's the Twin Towers is the World Trade Center. It's the trade center, okay? It is the mecca of business, right? It is that mecca. It is the trading center. So I'm getting like full-blown Wall Street vibes. That's what I'm getting. I'm picking up Wall Street vibes. And then I'm thinking to myself, is there another layer to this that's not necessarily oil? Like it's like I feel Texas and oil is like one part maybe, but it's like I don't feel that. Like I feel like there's something going on with Manhattan, but was this a setup? Was it a setup to make it look like it was something that it wasn't? You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the energy that's coming through. So let me see if there's any other messages around this, but I always get messages around the black box, okay? And there's something maybe on the black box. The other thing is that, like they were saying that the people who were trained to do this were like happy people. They were like they were happy-go-lucky people. Like they weren't people that were vengeful or spiteful. Like they weren't like these typical terrorists, that were like, had this disposition about themselves. Like they were having fun. They were out at the bars and things like that. Like that's another thing that's like, what is that? You know what I mean? Like there's another layer to it that I feel like is really interesting. So the other thing is like, I'm just going to see, because it feels like there is like I said, Florida is the missing key. Like I'm telling you, there is a part of this that we still are not like maybe uncovering. Maybe people on an intelligence level, they know. Okay, maybe they freaking know what really happened. But I'm telling you right now, there's a mess, okay? An 8 of Wands. And if we don't like figure this out, 8 of Wands, if these communications don't come through and we don't get the full story, I just got a Knight of Wands, we're never going to get justice, because it feels like this is, like I said, the missing key to getting justice for the country. Like this feels like this is the block. This is the divide right here is 9/11. So there's something that is yet to come to the light in order for us to get some sort of justice. I have, Wheel of Fortune coming in here real strong. Wheel of Fortune, because I'm thinking that there is another plot to 9/11 that we maybe don't know about. Like that's what it almost feels like. It feels like there might be like there's another side to this that we don't know about. And it's linked to, it looks like it's linked to the White House, but it's not. It's linked to the probably the presidency, or it's not linked. This is not Bush's White House. That's not the White House. It is linked to the presidency. It's linked to the country. So it's like something else that's almost like it's holding us captive in some way, if that makes any sense, because if this information hasn't come forward, and it feels like it's interrupting everything, like it's obstructing everything until we get this to come to light. So it comes in as a 5 of Cups. That's how it comes in, the energy. If we don't figure this out, it is 5 of Cups energy. So I'm just going to see if there's any other messages. It just seems like there's a lot of communications that have to come to the light in order for this to clear up. And like I said, it feels real heavy on the Manhattan side. Like this is Manhattan. This is, who was the mayor of Manhattan during 9/11? Giuliani. There is something there. I don't know what it is, but there is something there that is very connected to what's going on now that has to come to the forefront in order for us to see justice for everything that happened to the country. That's what it feels like. And this feels very connected to the 2016 election. This also feels connected to other elections. It feels connected to a lot of things. Okay. And it's like this is the missing key to uncovering the truth of really what's going on. And I'm saying that I want to throw up, honestly. Like I feel really sick because there's so much darkness around this. You know what I mean? Like this is, it just feels like it is something that has been kept from us for so long, and there are people, even in Manhattan, Long Island, they want answers. They freaking want answers. It's like, I get this sense that there are people that want answers, like firemen want answers. It's like people like that, like they need the truth. Like it has to come out. And then it takes me right back to Gabby Petito. Gabby Petito is Long Island, and it's like, I watched the Long Island Medium. I watched her all the time. I was a huge fan of hers. And half of her freaking clients were people who lost their fathers or their husbands in 9/11. And that they came up all the time in her freaking readings. It was like, that was like like I said, it was like a huge part of her clients. And so I know that left such a hole, in Long Island, because it's still something that hasn't been healed in this way. And I feel that it's linked to the financial district. That's what it feels like energetically. It feels like it is, and I know that's where they are, but it feels like heavy energy Wall Street, heavy Wall Street energy. And then I'm also hearing trafficking. So it could be that it could be that it's Wall Street trafficking that really was part of this in some way. And we're getting a whole other story that was linked to oil, but it might not be that story. Like it could be like that's part of the story, but it's not the story. You know what I mean? Like that's what it feels like energetically. Like it feels like there's two different sides to this story. And now we have to get to the freaking truth. We have to get to the truth of what really freaking happened. I'm seeing boats coming through here. And that's when it kind of takes me back to a lot of the movies I was talking about yesterday. I was just talking about these different movies. And it feels like it's always been in our face, but we just never really put the pieces together. You know what I mean? So anyways, I'm wishing you guys the best. I'll leave you guys there. I'm sending you guys so much love and blessings. Let me know if you get any messages or anything as I'm just talking about this, because it just feels like it's something like we have to air out. Like, I don't know what it is, but we are missing something that is obstructing our justice as a country, as a nation. And we have to get to the bottom of it in order for us to move forward and to finally have rest. That's what it feels like. Because it feels like it's just it's unrest. It is unrest. Like we need rest. We need to know the truth. So anyways, I'm wishing you guys the best, and I will talk to you all soon. If you guys are interested in a reading, I'll leave the links below, and take care. Bye.